When I'm asked what's the best suburb for investment, I've got to ask you a lot of questions. So it's a little bit like going to the doctor and saying, you know, I've got a pain in my back, what is it? I need to ask you a series of questions that I can give you the right answer for you, because the right suburb to invest in is not always the right suburb for the next person coming along. So if you want to be close to town, you might choose the Caledonian estate or the Mort estate because it's close to town. You can walk to work, you know, go and do your shopping, come down to the cafes and coffee shops on a weekend. That might be ideal for you from an investment point of view. Whereas if you're looking for capital growth, you might look at places where other investors are not looking, like Harlexton, Rockpool, Wilsonton, Glenvale. Like, there's a whole heap of other suburbs that offer so many other things. And this year, I would say Wilsonton will be one of those suburbs that will have some massive growth once the Wilsonton Shopping Centre undergoes its refurbishment, and it'll regenerate the Wilsonton area. So I always say look for infrastructure projects. And over the last couple of years, a lot of people have been saying to me, hasn't the second range crossing added to the value of my property? And the answer to that is probably not. You know, I live on that northern side of town, so surely, you know, my property's gone up in value just because we've spent, you know, billions of dollars on a road. Well, that's not necessarily the case. It's what value comes out of that asset. And at this stage, I would say Glenvale has probably been one of the bigger suburbs that has gained from that, and also Torrington and Cotswold Hills, because people will want to live in those suburbs to get access to the transport and logistics companies for their jobs. So employment plays a really big part in that. So if you're employed by those companies that are using that asset, then yes, definitely, they're the suburbs that you should be looking at. But then again, some people need to send their kids to school at Middle Ridge or Centenary Heights or Rangeville. So from an investment point of view, those suburbs could be more of a benefit to you. So it really is, I can't say it's a broad stroke of brush approach. It's got to be an individual approach, and I've got to ask you lots of questions. But thanks very much for that question.